Joe Phantomaniacs, welcome to the newest unboxing here on the Needless Things YouTube channel. So if you're a fan of Audible Interlude, a G.I. Joe podcast, as you should be, and check out our live streams right here on the Needless Things YouTube channel, or listen to our audio episodes, you may know I already unboxed this figure. I did it live on our December 4th live stream, which you can find archived here on the channel, or you can listen to the audio episode wherever you get your podcasts. But it was something new. I'd never done it like that before, and I got to say I wasn't totally satisfied with how it went, because I'm trying to run a live stream. I'm using an alternate camera. I don't want to spend too much time doing this thing that doesn't involve my co-hosts really. So I don't think I will do a full unboxing or try to do a full unboxing that way again. I think it's better when we just kind of generally talk about the figures. So I wanted to do an actual unboxing. So even though this has already been opened and I've already taken a look at it, I didn't really analyze it the way that I normally do. And I kind of feel like I don't technically have this figure yet because I didn't take that closer look. I didn't spend the time with it like I normally do here on these unboxing videos. So here we have General Clayton Hawk Abernathy from the G.I. Joe team. Honestly, one of the most exciting diorama images we've seen in the line so far, because in the background we've got that Sunbow style G.I. Joe headquarters. We've got the triple T. We've got a stun, and then what? Because this looks like a later version of Hawk, like exactly like a later version of Hawk. Very strange, but still a heck of an image and suited for the Joe's leader, I think. And I'm excited about this figure. We needed this Hawk. Now, we still need Colonel Hawk. We still need Colonel Hawk, but this is the one I would have picked first, because generally my first, while I don't disagree with Hasbro's method of, hey, let's give them Tiger Force or Python Patrol or whatever first, if I could pick one version of Hawk, this would be the one that I would want. This packaging, of course, as we all know, is going away. I'm not going to bother flipping it over because everything's already loose inside, because I did open this already. So let's go ahead and get this box open and take a look at it. You can see Hawk just kind of flopping around in there. All of his accessories are loose in the foot locker, which I guess those foot lockers are going away too, huh? That's okay. My personal collection of foot lockers is going away. I like the art. There's an urgency and a seriousness to his face that I really like. I think they've captured Hawk pretty nicely here. All right. So let's take a look at the figure first. And first glance, this is a beauty. I gotta say, the colors are right. Oh, you know what I forgot? I forgot my Hawk. Okay, so first glance, I really like the tall boots on him. His camo has a nice contrast, looks good. I am hoping that going forward, we're just going to see really nice looking camo on our classified figures. See, I didn't get to mess with the articulation or anything, because I was just very conscious of time while I was doing this on the live stream. His shoulder holster is a little loose, but I think if you kind of push it down, once you get it under that collar, it kind of stays put. And he does have the, oh, well, there's that. And that took some force for me to pop that out. That didn't just happen. I was just trying to get that shoulder joint worked free. I might need to heat that up to get it back in, though. Shoulder holster is kind of in my way. Let's get that gone. And I guess since we're taking things apart, we might as well do a little closer investigation, huh? So this is the new. I know a lot of people like this. I don't love it. I never really liked it on McFarlane figures, and I just don't. Functionally, I understand it, and I can't be mad at it. But for me, I would rather have a nice profile, which I get. I mean, you can get. I don't know. I don't love it. It's fine, but I don't love it. So anyway, this is what that cup looks like. That allows that sort of rotational range of movement, and that'll seat right back in there. And then maybe with the shoulder holster out of the way, you can actually see some of the. Well, maybe. No, that's just super shiny. I thought maybe that was some kind of lubricant they used to pop the joints into place, but it's just a really shiny piece. Oh, there we go. Look at that. That was kind of satisfying. Just popped right back in. Cool. Okay, moving on. Let's get that shoulder holster back into place because that is a pretty critical part of this look. And if it's a softer plastic, and once you get it seated where you want it, like going under his collar, and you can almost even kind of pull it down on this side, it's fine. It's not going to move around as much as some of the other stuff I've complained about lately. Man, just the details look great. I don't love this Yo-Jo patch. That's, for a general, that's a little corny to me. And I'm not, again, I'm not like, this figure's terrible now, but I just don't love it. What I really don't love, and this isn't as bad as it has been on some other figures, but this cut joint, where they haven't done anything to try to blend the joint into the profile of the figure. I mean, that's just awful. And we didn't see that kind of thing early in the line, and I'm disappointed that we're seeing it more and more now. It just seems lazy to me. And I think the classified team has established that they can do better work. I do really like the American flag. The brown drab flag looks really good. And I'm looking at the video, and the space in that bicep joint looks massive in the video, and it's not really as noticeable when I'm just looking at it. But I might still try to tighten it up or something a little bit. Like when you move it around, you do get a gap there. But that's also, part of, it's a cut joint as opposed to some of the contoured joints that they did early in the line. So you're going to have those kinds of problems. I hope they get back on track with that, to be honest. I love the way that they've painted the sleeves here. Those elastic sleeves look great. People have talked about his gloved hands. I don't really care if they're gloved or not. Doesn't matter. The gloves kind of make sense to me and work with the look. And also, I have seen mentioned that his hands are huge. They're not so huge that they don't work as an action figure. That portrait, that's just awesome. That brushed white at the temples and in the front. It's great. The way they've done even around his eyes, they're kind of, he just looks grizzled. He looks like he's been through some stuff. I like it quite a bit. They've done this figure is strikingly authoritative and powerful. He does have, from what I understand, some inappropriate for a general medals. I think he's got a colonel's wings. I don't know if that's this one or this one, because I am not a military detail guy. I just want stuff to look cool. But I will say this: if there is an egregious flaw like that, somebody at Hasbro should have caught it. I don't care, but I do agree with people that it probably shouldn't have made it onto the figure. You know what I mean? It doesn't bother me personally, but we should probably do a little better. I love the stars on his lapels. Those look great. The sculpt of that shirt underneath his jacket's fantastic. And even look at the collar. Just the way that they've done the fur look of the collar is excellent. The dry brushing on his jacket to give it that worn leather look is good. He's got the painted zippers. The design of the jacket is just excellent. I'm glad it's got this kind of joint rather than the ab crunch. Although, if it were up to me, I would eliminate a torso joint entirely and just give it a good ball joint at the waist. But that's just me. Yeah, jacket looks great. And then again, the camo on his pants is good, but the green knees seem a little weird. And we're running into another problem here. I just noticed it on the Techno Viper, where rather than, because here's our 00 Snake Eyes. There we go. So 00 Snake Eyes, first off, you can just sort of see a difference in quality with these side by side in detail. I'm not saying Hawk is anything but great, but there's just a difference here in the way these are done. And they put effort into making these look like an intentional decision. Whereas what we're seeing on the current figures is they just use this block of color for the knees, and it just doesn't look great. And the problem is, if they had made these knee pads a different color, they wouldn't have painted them. They would have just used a black, because that's how the Techno Viper is. This whole piece is black, and it doesn't look good. So this green is preferable, but it just looks a little odd to me. And it also saves them having to paint those knees. I would rather these just be standard camo BDUs, but that would have cost a little bit more. His belts look great. I love that he's got a holster that is kind of more traditional than some of what we've seen in the line. And then the painted buckles on the belts, I like they're two different colors. And then the detail, we got to zoom back in. And then the detail on that gun belt. To be honest, I can't quite tell. Oh, you know what? I haven't done this in a while. Let's pull out our magnifying glass and see if we can see, our somewhat dusty magnifying glass, and see if we can see what that is exactly. I still can't tell what that is. If you can see it better than I can in the comments, or if you just know what it is, if you can see it better than I can in the comments. That's not what I meant to say. Let me know in the comments if you know what that is or can see it better than I can see it. But that is not clear to me. But it is still a nice sculpted detail that keeps the belts different and looks like he has a specific sort of look going here with those belts. All right, so the figure, it's awesome. I've got some nitpicky nitpicks, but it's probably mainly because this is the second time I've reviewed it, even though the first time wasn't super thorough. So let's take a look at these accessories that I think is going to go a little bit faster. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I went and got Hawk, and then I didn't compare him to Hawk. So there is our original 1986 General Hawk. And normally I would say, I wish they had done something a little more like the original camo, but this is like too bright a green. I actually like that they subdued it a little bit, but you can see side by side how well they have updated and adapted the look of this original Hawk. It's pretty great. So, and he just stood right up too. I didn't have to fuss with his ankles to get him to stand up. He just stood right up. That's a nice thing. He's got his helmet with the star on the front. Looks great. And look at the ding. This I did not notice first run through. Look at the dings and battle damage. How cool is all of that he has been through it? This helmet has been through it with him. That's awesome. I didn't even notice that stuff before. And that was part of the problem with doing it on that live stream, with doing the review, was that it just didn't have my full attention because I was trying to run a show too, or being conscious of running a show. The straps look good. I like them. There's no way they're going to reach under anybody's chin, but I don't care. They just need to look cool. Again, just make it look cool. And don't make it look cool, but also give it its own internal logic. So anyway, helmet looks awesome. Some have said the helmet is too big and that you need to put the goggles on under it like you did with Dusty. I don't find that helmet to be too big. I think it looks good. If it were a little more snug, that wouldn't be such a bad thing. But to be honest, like, come on, focus. There we go. But to be honest, this looks good to me. I think this is the size this helmet needs to be. He's also got 2 pairs of goggles, 1 pair to go on his face, and 1 pair to go on his helmet, like the original figure had. And I will tell you, I am just going to make him look like the original figure. So those are, I'm going to center those over the star right there, and then just push the back strap down a little bit, and those seat just perfectly in place. I might fiddle with it a little bit, but I want that star to be sitting right there visible, so I'm not going to push them down much further than that. And I think that, I mean, they sit right there, friction's holding them in place. I think it looks great. We've got a couple of weapons that I don't know are even all that necessary. First of all, we've got a shot blaster. I don't know what to call this stuff anymore, you guys. I just know I don't want to get flagged. So we've got a shot blaster that came with CoverGirl originally, maybe. It's got a blast port in the front. I mean, I like it. It seems, and again, tell me in the comments if you agree. I could be, again, just being too nitpicky. Even sculpt-wise, it seems a little under-detailed to me. I don't know. I mean, it's not. It's got plenty of detail. It just seems a little blah, but maybe it's the fact that there's no paint. It does, the complete lack of paint on this does make it look just kind of cheap. And I will be looking on Instagram at customizers because I want to see how they plus this up, because I know it's going to end up looking so much better with just a little bit of paint on it. I will not be displaying this with Hawk. Matter of fact, I'm going to toss this. No, I'm going to bag it up, because I do want to keep track of where it is. And then we've got Gung Ho's grenade. I guess I can say grenade launcher. Explosive egg launcher. I don't know. Again, I didn't need this with Hawk. I would rather have had a backpack than these, because the original Hawk, as you can see, has a backpack, and it's a cool backpack. It's Footloose's backpack, right? But it's a cool backpack. Go ahead and tool it up, give it to Hawk, and then you'll already have it done when you put Footloose out. So this, it looks good, but again, just no paint at all. It just leaves it looking kind of plain and bargainy, if you know what I mean. And then we've got 2 different hand blasters that both look pretty cool. I think this one looks much better than this one, but there's nothing wrong with this one. So let's take a look at this guy first. Lots of sculpted detail. If you look on the grip there, pull this back out. Again, much like his belt buckle, you can see the sculpted detail really gives this some personality. It's got that general star on it. Just a cool looking hand blaster. I really like this one. And then since we've already got this out, we'll put this under it, even though there's not as much to see. Nice sculpted detail. If I can get it to focus. There we go. Looks fine. They both have the ports for blast effects, which is almost a little surprising to me. This, I'm pretty sure, is brand new. This we have probably seen before, but I wouldn't swear to it. So let's put that in that chest holster. Although, you know what I do wish? I wish that smaller blaster was gold. That would add a little something to it. And I also wish that this magazine wasn't sticking out quite so far. I might keep an eye out as the line progresses for a little more compact and possibly gold blaster. Well, I'm sure like Gridiron or somebody makes something like that. So if this was gold, I think it would really make the figure pop that much more. And then we've got the slightly larger one goes in that hip holster. Well, we know it's going to slide right in. I don't even know if I need to test the compatibility of anything. Oh, and you'll notice these are gloved hands. You can see there are no fingernails sculpted on them. These are Tomax and Zaymot hands because these are sculpted to handle those knives that they have. But that blaster is still going to fit perfectly in that hand, just like pretty much every other classified figure. Ooh, that's a stiff joint. I didn't try his elbows. I just realized that. Ooh, man, that might take some heating up. But anyway, that is a much more thorough and hopefully satisfying look at an excellent, like I said, I had some nitpicks, but this is an excellent classified series figure. A great interpretation of General Hawk, one of the most revered and important figures in G.I. Joe, especially if you read those Marvel comics. So this is awesome. I'm very happy with this. They've done a nice job. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends about Needless Things. Come back for all kinds of toy reviews all the time. My top 10 of 2023 is coming very soon, if it hasn't happened already. And until next time, yo, Joe!
Smash that like button if you like Needless Things.